Hello there and welcome back to Satisfactory. Yes, we're back on Satisfactory once again, going to be continuing a single player playthrough on the 1.1 experimental branch. So, if you went here last time, we had gotten the bypass completely finished. The bypass that goes from our main rail line from the back of the water station all the way into the backside of the aluminum plant, and then all the way to our other main line that is going through the main part of the Titan Forest. That is all completed. We got the spiral completed, we got the bridges completed, the slopes completed, everything's good. So now we can move on to start making factories again. I can't believe it took us 3 days out of the week to do this bypass, but there was a lot of custom work that had to go into building it, so it is kind of understandable. So today we're going to be building our copper powder factory, and I got a design in mind, so let's get into it and let's go. Alrighty, and here we are. So, let's see. Yeah, everything's working. Okay. So something I've noticed, just real quick. The water train that goes up for the aluminum factory, you know what's really funny about that? The shortest route from the water train's drop-off point to this water collection facility is shorter when it's going down the spiral, but when it gets to the end of this train station, it takes the other way. It takes the other route that goes up that way, and then up into the aluminum factory up there. That's funny to me, because I was just like, man, I always see the water train coming down this way, but I never see it go back up, which is kind of funny. So I was just like, what the heck? And then this is like, oh, okay. So it's slightly shorter when it's at the end of that train station, and then it's just the perfect amount, so it always takes a different way, or it takes the other way each time. So pretty nice. But yeah, we got the bauxite and the aluminum casings train using our bypass, which is very, very nice. So we get a little more traffic out here. But anyway, we're going to be building a copper powder factory using this space, and like I said, I got a bit of a design in mind, so we're going to go ahead and build it and whatnot. I don't know how far we'll get today. We shall see. But definitely, we're going to turn this into a four-way intersection as well. And then we'll get started on the platform over here. I do need to find out the rotation of my platform, which is going to take a minute. I know there's a cliff over here, or what looks like a cliff anyway. And we're going to be using this space down towards the ground as well, because it's also pretty flat. Plus, we're going to need 3 train stations for this one. We're going to need copper ore coming in, we're going to need iron ore coming in, and then we're going to need copper powder coming out. So it's going to be the factory is going to be in 2 stages. We're going to be smelting copper ingots and then turning those copper ingots into copper powder. But yeah, there's a big old cliff over here, and I kind of want to be rotated with this cliff a little bit, which I don't think is going to be on the rotation of this other grid. We're still going to use the grid that we have over here with this, but we're going to be rotating it slightly. So that should be okay. I mean, we should probably check the grid, but we'll check it once we get the rotation down. Yeah, because going at it at this angle, if we go straight, let's head over here. If we go straight from here towards that cliff, as big as this factory's got to kinda has to be, is going to end up probably running into that there. I'm not 100% sure about that though, because the way I want to play it is I want to have 2 train stations in line. That's going to be the copper and the iron, and then I want to have, well, you're walking in place. I want to have the copper powder coming out, so it's going to do a little loop. So 2 train stations side by side, but there's going to be a bit of space with that one. Yeah, see, there's the water train, but the water train always goes this way to grab water, but never ever leaves. Oh yeah, we did some adjustments to some of the mines and stuff like that, which, you know, I understand that doing some of that was, you know, not the best, but yeah, I was kind of we were kind of in between projects, so I guess that's my excuse. Anyway, Okay, let's. I guess we'll get the intersection done first, and then we'll work on. There we go. We'll get this intersection done first, and then we'll work on that. So how far? So there's where the line is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So right from where it's that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So that's how far it goes out. This is a custom-built intersection, so I need to kind of copy it. And then it's 1, 2, 3 foundations outwards, which is the correct amount. And then it is on this side, whether we have to curve or not. We could try without curving. Let's remove these little signs here. Those will be in the middle of the intersection, so we don't want that. Okay. And then this is a... So the way I placed this, it should have been like this. There's actually a hole, but that's okay. The track covers it, so... Not supposed to be walking on this anyway. Oops. So yeah, we just rotate it once, and then move it over. Just like that. And like that, there, and there. Okay, and that should be the exact same as this side. Which it looks like, let's see. So that goes just past where those two meet. Yep, so that's exact. Okay, cool. We will need to get rid of... Let's hit the G key on these. And we will only delete these. Okay. I'll have to put in some custom ones. Yeah, I should have done these runners a little bit different. Which I think I will this for this side. Like basically what I should have done was like this. It'll take a little bit of work to get them where we want them, but so something like that. That's what I'm thinking. Alright, let me get the rest of this intersection built and get the signals, well, get some of the stuff on it, and then we'll see about this foundation here. We're going to measure it out first. And actually, we might be okay. Why is my dude is shivering? Apparently it's cold. Should probably put away my radio anyway, so I don't lose it. I stopped throwing away my radio, though. I've gotten better. I used to throw away my radio every freaking episode, man. Every episode, I would put my radio on the floor by accident. I have learned the ways of not doing that. Alright, yeah, like I said, let me get the rest of this intersection built, and then we'll measure out and see how big we're going to need to make this, because we might be okay. Then, of course, before we get too far, we'll have to test this grid to make sure the train station is going to fit on it properly, so it's not off like a degree of rotation or whatever. Alrighty, now that we've got the intersection built, I also went ahead and did a few other things too. I've got the water collection facilities now on the map as well. So we've got this one. That big water collection facility does 12,000 water per minute. That is insane. There's 40 water collectors over there. And the only reason I did 40 is because I wanted enough water collectors, fully overclocked, of course, but I wanted enough water collectors to make 20 to fill 20 pipes, because it is a 10-car train station and there's 2 inputs per piece of that 10-car train station. So there's 20 pipes, and I wanted enough water to fill 20 pipes to the fullest. So we're making 12,000 water per minute, and then we've got this one. So this right here, this is how much the aluminum factory is taking from our Water Collection Facility 2. And then this one, the Water Collection Facility 1, decided to also do that. Is 1,250 out of 2,400. And that's the concrete factory taking that. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, decided to put those on the map real quick because I was like, we'll do that. So I actually kind of rebuilt this side as well. Completely rebuilt this intersection. From the foundation that was already here, from the foundation up, rebuilt all the tracks and whatnot, get it all placed. So something I figured out too is the deleting tracks for an intersection. If you just built the intersection, it does not bug out. It only bugs out when you've saved and reloaded the game. Once you've saved it, reloaded the save, then the intersections, if you try to delete the tracks of an intersection, it bugs it out and it leaves the switch there, and it won't connect. It won't make all the connections. So you have to remove the track before, which would be this one. If that was bugged, I'd have to remove this just to remove that switch, so then it wouldn't be bugged when I try to connect to it. That's a 1.1 bug, but yeah, that's pretty much that. So it's like, oh, okay, so I don't have anything to worry about for an intersection I just built as long as I don't save and reload. Once I save and reload, then the intersection, if I delete any of the pieces, it bugs the intersection out, and then I have to completely remove all the pieces and try again. That's how it is, I suppose. Alright, so now we want to test this grid. So before we even get started on trying to figure out if it's going to fit or not, let's throw down some foundation just real quick, just quickly. Grab ourselves a train station. And we'll put it here. We're going to hit the H key so it allows us to place it down. And we'll place a couple of these. And by the way, no mods. That is that's just part of the game. If you can't place certain things because it says the ground is too, or it says it surface is too uneven, sometimes you can hit the H key and it'll just allow it to be placed anyway. All right, then we look at this train station. Yep, everything looks straight. That is good. Okay, I've gotten into the habit of checking my grids. I've had too many times where I've built a full-on train station, got the belts connected to it, and then realized the train station was rotated by a degree. Just because when you're doing foundations on tracks and stuff like that, with especially with curves and whatnot, your grid can end up being like a degree or a degree and a half off from what the rotation can be of the train station. So then it ends up in disaster, at least for me. Alrighty, but we've got that, at least. So yeah, did I already test this? I think I already did. I think I already tested the roll-up gate. You can't put a roll-up gate with your two rails. Yeah, because even though the track fits in it, like this, the train clips through the wall as it goes through, unfortunately. We'd have to squeeze the tracks together to make that work, and I don't want to do that, so we'll be ignoring that. Unfortunately, that's okay though. But yeah, like I said, I did have a design that I wanted to work on. Okay. So with this particular design, we're going to need let's get our 1 meter foundations laid out here. I'm trying to think, would 1 meter foundations be okay to build on for this particular build? Yeah, we could run belts underneath it and everything. Yeah, let's do 1 meter foundations. Okay. Well, let's move it out like I don't know, 3. Let's give 3 foundations worth of space from the intersection here. There we go. We'll start from there. So like I said, we're going to need to do 2 train stations long, which, given our rule set, each train station has to be 5 cars. So we will make sure we get that down, and we'll destroy some trees along the way. So the foundation is going to be up this high, but we're going to have walls and stuff that go down to the ground level. I don't want to have to change elevation through here, so I'm just going to run a track just so that we can hover. Okay, so with this particular thing, we should probably figure out where the train station is going to go and see if that'll work. So the train station won't be able to be here. The middle is going to be these two here, where the train comes in. So we're going to need enough room. We're going to need enough room to the side in order to S-bend it. Let's go out a couple of foundations on each side. It's going to be a pretty wide build, but it's also going to be very long. Let's see. Yeah, so right there. Actually might bring it closer to the intersection. Just because I can already see how much space we're going to end up running out of. Oops, that needs to be over even further. Yep, just throwing down some template train stations real quick. Nope, needs to be over even further. So we'll put it there. Because these train stations are going to be inside. Alrighty, there's our placement. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that enough space? It is enough space. Let's move the. Actually, no, I could just do this, can't I? Duh, we're on 1.1. Nah, it looks like if I was to do that, the thing would be right up against it. Actually, that's okay. Honestly, that is okay. So then this is going to be a rectangle build, but there's a very specific reason why it is that way. Okay, we'll get rid of these two blueprints here. But yeah, it's going to be a rectangle build, but I'm going to design on the outside once it's built. Okay. And of course the factory is going to be above the train station. The train station is going to take up most of the space. It's like I probably could have done half, but I think that's as close as I'm willing to go, though. With this particular one, that is as close as I'm willing to get. All right, so each train station takes up 2 spaces. We need 10 car plus 2 train stations, so that'll be 20 foundations plus 2 train stations, so 24 foundations long. 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 10. There's 20 out of power. Actually, we could just build as we go, can't we? If we do this, is all the freight going to be to the inside, or are we going to do one foundation wider and do it to this side? Yeah, that could work. But if I place this like this, and then I reconnect this. Yeah, my computer's been lagging recently. It's getting slower, which is very, very bad. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a train station. Like I said, this factory is going to be quite long. Goodbye, nature. Hello, autosave. 1, 2. Yeah, we're getting... Oh, what the heck? Why are they attacking me? Oh, I must have hit him with the explosion. Stupid bugs. Got 1, 2... Nope. So this was 20, right? So that should be the end of the train station. But yeah, I was worried about running into this cliff, but it might not be so bad. Yeah, I thought we were going to go all the way to the cliff edge with this, but... 3, 4, 5... Plus a... train station. Very nice. Oh, bit of lag there. Like I said, my PC's been getting slower and slower and slower over the more recent days. Yep. And apparently, according to Windows, it's not good enough to run Windows 11. So, yeah, I'm gonna be screwed very, very soon. Very, very soon when it comes to October. As you know, Windows 11 or Windows 10 support does stop in October. So. In October of this year, which does kind of suck. Yeah, Windows 11 isn't even finished yet, in my opinion, and they're gonna stop support for Windows 10. Windows 10 actually didn't turn out too bad. It just took years to actually get decent enough to be able to be usable properly. Of course, that's an opinion. That's an opinion. That's not a... You know, I know how some people are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, and then we'll just run a train directly along there. Yeah, because copper powder is just copper ingots, right? Yeah, it's just copper ingots. Okay, perfect. But yeah, getting this factory out of the way, it definitely crosses off another big list of stuff. Okay, now I got to decide whether I want to do 4 foundations or 3 foundations on the end there. How many foundations did we do on this end before it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So 4 plus 24, that's 28. So that's actually a pretty good number. I wanted to even, since we're doing even in the middle, I wanted to do even along the edges as well. Right, so that works out for me. Look at all this puddles of nasty water over here. Okay, that actually is perfect anyway, because then I could do a proper corner. I could do a 3x3. Yeah, just run that into there. Perfect. Alright, let's get our signals down. So luckily the signals for the intersection are going to be on the outside here, so I shouldn't have to worry about that, but I still will put a signal on the edge here, edge of the train station here, so that way if a train is waiting, I mean it's going to block up both intersections anyway, so it's like it doesn't matter whether the signal's there or not, it'll just be for my sanity to put a signal there. But yeah, on this side we'll bring in the iron and the copper, and then on the other side we'll have the copper powder as the export, which would be very, very nice. Alrighty, perfect. So I think we should have the copper ingots, or the copper powder, sorry, the copper ore, there we go, on this, just because we got copper powder on this side. That'll kind of even it out for my brain. You know what? Oh, you know, I have enough room. I could export copper ingots as well, because I needed to export copper ingots at some point. No, well, I wanted to do, there was one thing I did want to do at the very beginning of the series, I just never done it, was I did want to do a copper, or I did want to do an ingot factory, essentially. So basically, we'd have copper ingots, we'd have all the ingot types at this big factory, bring in all the resources needed to make it work, and then we would do the best, ingot recipes there was to then export out. I kind of wanted to do that at some point, but I just never did. So yeah, we'll do that. Maybe we will at some point in the future. That'll be that'll be another side project though. Much like the fuel factory, the munitions factory, all that stuff. That'll all be a side project type of deal. I think I'm gonna get rid of the trees on this side too. Oops. Yeah, all the trees along here. Be nice if you could get rid of the big trees by cutting them down. Like have it so it only cuts, they only get cut down by the chainsaw. Or maybe you need like 1,000,000 explosives to remove them. You know, like you place a whole bunch, like say it takes like 10 nobelisks to remove that. Like they've got health. That'd be pretty nice. That way you can remove them if needed, but you don't have to, and it's pretty hard to actually remove them. See, kind of that balance there. Get rid of all those damn bugs. These ones should not appear since we'll have powered factories and things. Okay, and then just for right now, so we don't have anything getting underneath here, we're gonna put down some concrete walls. So yeah, the way I want to design this, I think I'm going to design it all out of concrete, but we're going to have like colored concrete. But yeah, we'll just run a wall all the way along, just for now, so that stuff doesn't get underneath it. But yeah, that's pretty much the train station, so yeah, I'll put the wall all the way around here, and then we'll, oh no, I can't do that yet. No! Why did I do this to myself? I always do this, I always forget things. Oh, good thing I didn't build it all the way around first, because I've done that before, and I have to unbuild all that stuff. Okay. I wanted to go one more foundation out, because we need space for our, belts over here. Actually, do we need space for our belts? We don't have to have space for our belts. Hold on. Yeah, we could run the belts on the outside of the factory, going up and down. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, and just have them like just out there, and then have like lights kind of shining on them or something to kind of show them off. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I'd be up for that. All right, we'll do that then. But yeah, we definitely need to get some walls up to go up and above this foundation, up and above the train station. I usually like to do 6 walls, and the reason I do 6 walls is so I can put lights up. So we'll do 6 walls all the way around. This is going to be a flat wall for now, or actually, it might not even be a wall at all for now. But yeah, I do want to build. Oh, come on, there we go. I do need to build this roof up above here, so that we can put in our lights and stuff like that, and we'll get it all figured out. Alrighty, so now that I've got the math all worked out, we need 1,000 just to produce 5 nuclear pasta per minute. We need 1,000 copper powder per minute just to produce 5. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to double the output with summer sloops. So we have the 10 machines. We'll just summer sloop the copper powder to 2,000 per minute. But we need 3,000 copper, 3,000 iron to produce 6,000. Now this would be even more crazy if we didn't do the copper alloy ingot, which is what I'm going to be using. So the copper, if you go to the copper ingot, if you have it, this is the best recipe for copper powder. It's more situational, but this is one of the best ones. This one's also really good too if you can make sulfuric acid. But the reason this one's really good is because it takes the same amount of ore technically, because it's 100 to make 100. The normal recipe would be 100. It'd be 1 to 1. So if you wanted to make 100, you'd have to have 100 copper ore to make 100 copper ingots. This one you only need 50 copper ore to make 100. This one is just, it's not great because the amount of effort that you need to do that is just not as good. So we're going to go with this one. But this one and this one are really good, these two. But we're going to go with this one, of course. So we're going to bring in our copper ore and our iron ore in order to make our copper ingots. And that will make our... I think didn't we actually do this for the... We did this for the copper wire and the cable as well. For the wire and cable, we did the copper alloy ingot recipe. We have inputs for copper ore and iron ore for that, but we actually had enough copper and iron just kind of laying around. Yeah, so that's how that's going to work. So we're going to bring in 3,000 copper, 3,000 iron, making 6,000 copper ingots per minute, and then 200 per machine. So we're only going to overclock twice because this makes the math extremely easy. Basically, it's 3 foundries to 1 constructor. So then we've got the 200 per machine per minute. So 3 foundries will merge into 1 belt, making 1 constructor, which is 200. So we don't have to worry about belt speed there. The only point we have to worry about belt speed is the input and the output of the copper powder. So the input of the ore and the output of the copper powder. The in-between we don't have to worry about because we just do 3 machines merge into 1 belt, that goes into a constructor, and we're done. So that's how we're going to do that. And then we've got the 1,000, and then like I said, I am going to summer sloop these 10 constructors here in order to make 2,000 per minute so that we can make twice as much. And we could even go a step further if we really wanted to. We could summer sloop the foundries as well. Basically, summer slooping the foundries would then basically double the amount there, which then would double the amount here as well. But we'd have to completely rearrange the entire factory to do that. So I think we're just going to do the summer sloop of the constructors and call it a day. Plus our power isn't bad, but it isn't great either. As you can see here, it's we're only producing 36,000 megawatts, and our max consumption is already in the 100,000 range. The only reason we're able to do as much as we're doing is because we got the power boost. Like our actual production is only... Our actual production is probably just slightly over our consumption, and then we've got 12,000 megawatts, so of boosted power, which is pretty good. It's still keeping us stable. I mean, we're pretty damn stable as far as power. Most of our factories are off, but eventually that is going to change with sinks and stuff. So, but yeah, that's looking pretty good there. So that's going to be our layout for up here, and I did get the lights for our train station as well. The other thing I need to do is we need to go over and grab ourselves a blueprinter. So, wait a minute. How many... let's see how many of these foundations do we have the long way? Because the width is 10. Okay, so it's 32. Alright. So we either have 2 blueprints or 1 blueprint to do 2. We might do 1 blueprint to do 2. 1 blueprint, which does 2 foundations. So we got 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, so that'd be like 5 blueprints by 16. Yeah, that'd be 5 blueprints by 16. So yeah, and this is actually about the size I was hoping for. That's a little bit longer than I wanted, but I'm okay with that, to be honest. And then over 2 foundations, we're going to have another blueprint underneath as well. Oh yeah, so I still need to run the wall around here so we don't have animals and stuff underneath, but yeah. So basically, since we need... Oh, I need the map. Since we need 3,000 of each, this one does not have 3,000 available, but combined with this one over here, that one would suffice. We'd need 2 trains to bring it in. So we'd have 1 train coming from there and 1 train coming from here. But then we'd need to work out how much are we taking from each. The only other thing I could think to do is to have 1 train station that makes a big round. The only problem is we need 3,000 per minute. 3,000 per minute, that's a lot per minute. So we need to run 2 train stations essentially. So, and then basically what we do is we just take half from each, I guess. Half, like add 1,500 to this one and add 1,500 to this one. We do have an iron mine here, but we're using most of it for the plate factory. And then there is this iron mine over here as well. Iron Mine 2, which does say 0. Where's Iron Mine 1? Is there an Iron Mine 1 somewhere? Iron Mine 1, where would that be? Limestone? Yeah, this train station over here is not marked. Is there an iron mine over there? Oh, there probably is. Oh, man. Yeah, because actually, I can find out real quick if I do this. Let's turn on the resources. Yeah, there's an iron mine over here. Pure. Oh, we have enough. That is 780 times 4. 3,000. There's our 3,000 for our iron. All right, so we'll take from that particular node, and then our copper. Our copper is going to be another big one. I would like another mine for the copper. That way, we're not trying to take from 2 different places. We don't have a radar tower over here. We need a radar tower on in this area to be able to see if there's any copper over there as well. There is 1 copper node, but it's an impure node. There's a whole bunch of copper by the concrete factory. Normal. That's good. 612. Yeah, that ain't gonna be enough. Is there any other places for mega copper that we have revealed yet? I don't want to have to go down here for copper or anything like that. There's a decent amount of ooh. Normal, 6, 12, 18 now. That's not enough copper. We need more copper. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of places for copper in particular, unfortunately. I'd have to actually look. The best place for copper that I know of is here, because you've got 3 pure nodes on top of each other, which is 612. That's 1,800 there. Or sorry, that's 780 times 3. So that's bringing in 2,300 at the moment, but most of that's going to be used by that copper sheet factory until we get Mark 6 belts. So we need to either need to find another place for copper, or we need to run a copper train to both mines. I think that might be the play. Run a copper ore train to both of this mine and this one over here. Let me turn those off. That might be the play, and then run a train from over here, because it's going to take just about as long. And it might be enough. They might be bringing in enough that it's not going to matter. Yeah, it might be enough that it's not going to matter. Okay. So let's get those trains set up then. transport. Actually, I need to go over. It's going to be Iron Mine 1, so yeah. We're going to set a train down for the copper first to get the copper going. I've already got these set to unload as well. So 1, now we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this is going to be the copper train. So it's set up for copper. Wait for the autosave. Copper. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, let's see. Search. Copper ore train, so we got 2 of them, so this will be copper ore train 3. Okay, then we're going to edit the timetable. We're going to type in copper. So we're going to do, so copper mine 1 and copper mine 2. Yeah, that looks correct. There's no copper mine 3, so I'm going to go 1, 2, and then we're going to do copper powder, copper ore input, save changes. Wait, did it not add both? Oh, it did. Okay. I was getting ready to say. Then we use the F key to get rid of that bug. Yeah, just by doing that, that stops that one bug from happening. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think that one connected properly. There we go. I'll change these over to iron, of course. Oops. Iron ore cores. No. Nope, didn't work. Didn't work as well as it did inside my head. Sorry. Oops. Okay. Oh, let's check the map. How many iron ore trains do we have running? Okay, so this will be iron ore train 3 then. Then we're going to enter edit timetable. Iron ore mine 1. Can we move this map? We can. Yep, look at that. There's iron ore mine 1 way over there. Yep, that's it. Right, and then iron ore, save changes, turn on self-driving. Do the F key thing. Then we're going to ride the train over there. Alrighty, now that we're over here, I know we're at the end of our episode pretty much, so we're just going to be quick here. Oh, no, I didn't want to turn off self-driving for a minute. We're going to be over here for a little bit. We need to upgrade all these mines. Are we on Mark 5 over here too? Yeah, we are on Mark 5 at least. Okay, organization. Oh, let me, so that the mine's empty. Let me actually load this train. Okay, this will be the first train that ever takes from... This was our very first iron mine, and we never used it. Okay. Yeah, so this is split between the 2 train stations, which is good. So these 2 will feed these 2, and this one will feed these 3. We could have it feed these 2, and then have this one and that one merge in the middle, but I kind of just want to leave it as it is. It's like we could be a little more even about it, but not that big of a deal. Alrighty, so now I've got that all sorted out. I've got all of the miners over here as Mark 3. as well. So we're doing 4,800 on the iron mine, and then we're doing 3,600 on the limestone mine. So I'm gonna head over to the concrete factory real quick, and then back over to our copper powder factory. I gotta fix some things at the concrete factory real quick. So be over there in a second. Alrighty, now that all that's fixed, and I'm back over here, over at this this copper powder factory that we've gotten started. That is going to be it for this episode of Satisfactory on the 1.1 experimental branch. So yeah, next time we'll go ahead and build the walls, get the walls done for this particular floor, get the belts ran up on the outside of the, start designing the factory essentially, and then get the machines laid out as well. I don't know if we'll do that next time, but we could have this factory up and going next time. I think that would be really nice. But if we can get a decent progress next time, that will be awesome. Get that factory designed and whatnot. So, like I said, I do have a big design in mind for this factory, and we will work on that next time. We'll obviously be using the blueprinter and all that good stuff. But yeah, so I'll get the copper ore counted here in a minute as well. But we'll figure it out. Get this factory done, and then we can move on to our heat sinks and cooling systems. But for now, though, like I said, that is going to be it. So I do hope you enjoyed. Oh, and before you go, I would like to give a huge shout out and thank you to all of the investors you can see here. Seriously, thank you. You guys are awesome. It is much appreciated. And until next time, I guess it's a goodbye.